Hello, today you're going to be watching this video that will give you information on how to begin prepping a book to be altered. So one of the first things you should do before altering your book is really just kind of opening it up and getting to know the book itself. Like, what kind of images are in here? Is there anything that you might want to use in your finished product later on? And if so, make sure that you mark the pages or somehow, let yourself remember that you wanted certain pages to still be there and to show. The reason why you are going to be getting rid of some of the pages is so you don't end up having to make artwork on 1,000 pages in a book. Instead, you might end up with only 4 or 5 thick pages, like be like this, or a few skinny pages with maybe a big section in the back that you could carve into, or make a sculpture in somehow. So you need to kind of have a plan before you start. What do you want your overall book to look like when you're finished? So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now you're ready to begin gluing and removing pages. So you glue pages together so that you end up with a thicker page that will hold up better to being painted and collaged, etc. And you remove pages to make space in your book for all those extra art materials like paint and collages. So one thing is to consider that this is the foundation for your artwork. So you want to make sure that you have a good foundation. When you glue, you want to make sure you have good craftsmanship. So what I do is just make sure that I have an even layer of glue across the whole page. And you're going to use a lot of glue sticks for this. But see how I'm not leaving any space. You want to really make sure you get enough glue, because it's really sad to have worked on a painting or whatever your artwork for a long time and then find out that your pages are starting to peel apart, and oftentimes that can lead to your paint chipping. So make sure that you build a good foundation for your artwork at the beginning. So once the whole page is covered in glue, you want to actually take all the pages and lay them down. So for each page you glue, you want to do this. That way you don't end up with ripples along this edge when it's done, when it's closed. So really take a few minutes and push. Make sure they're all going to stay stuck. And the general rule is to glue 5 pages together. So for right now, I have 3 pages in this stack. So every time you glue 2 pages together, you want to remove one. And be careful when removing the pages. See how you go real slow? If you get a little too crazy or you try to remove more than 1 page at a time, your binding can break, and that will affect your end product. If your binding breaks, you will lose points on this project. So I removed a page, now I'm going to glue it again. Now there's another way you could glue if you don't want to use glue stick. You could use just Elmer's glue that's been watered down just a little bit. And same thing here though, you want to get it nice and coated with glue. So this takes a little more effort, but this might end up being a better glue. Some people have more luck with the white glue than the glue stick. Okay, so once again, every time you add a page, you need to close your book. And see how I'm just slowly rolling the pages across. That way, make sure that the whole page is glued. Okay, so you want to glue one, remove one. Oops. Glue one, remove one. So I glued one, now I need to remove one. So just carefully tear, that way you won't have poor craftsmanship in your final book.